On tonight's Fayette Prep Rally, the region tournaments were in full swing, so which teams went home and who made the final 32 with a shot for a state title? The McIntosh and Dutchtown boys went at it in a hard-fought, high-flying affair, and the Lady Chiefs squared off against a high-powered Alcovy team gunning for a championship, while the Whitewater men looked to keep the #1 seed Alcovy from advancing to the finals. We'll also recap the other tournament action from around the area. FPR is your high school basketball tournament headquarters, and it starts in just 30 seconds.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
Fighting doesn't work.
We can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
Ignoring it doesn't work.
Ma, I said I'd do better.
Saying it and doing it are two different things.
Punishment doesn't work. What does work is a Huntington Learning Center. By improving basic skills, we build motivation and confidence, and kids look forward to learning. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN today. Your child can learn.
Comcast presents your source for Fayette County High School sports. This is Fayette Prep Rally.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Fayette Prep Rally, your weekly high school sports program featuring the very best Fayette County high school action. I'm Chase Watson, joined by Nathan Shutter, year-round on Comcast Channel 25. Catch us here weeknights at 6, 8, and 10. And Nathan, the region champions have been crowned, and a couple of Fayette teams lifted the hardware as we get to our keys to the weekend, with the Lady Tigers winning the region.
Big win for Fayette County, defeating Alcovy 50-39 in the Region 3 4A championship. Lady Tigers' 5th region title in the last 6 seasons.
And the Lady Pats clinched the #1 seed.
Big win over Drew, 60-44 in the region championship game. They will be the #1 seed and get home court for the AAA state tournament.
And the Tigers fell in the title game.
Tough loss for Fayette County, falling to Alcovy 73-60 in the boys championship game. That broke a 17-game winning streak, but only the second loss of the season for the Fayette County boys team.
It's a tough loss.
It is.
Well, let's get to the highlights, and the McIntosh boys were just one win away from stamping their ticket to the state playoffs, but they would have to get by a very stingy Dutchtown squad in the quarterfinals. Dutchtown draws first blood in this one. They send it around the perimeter. Freddie Thomas drains the 3-ball to give the Bulldogs the quick 3-0 lead. Then it's the speedy Montrez Mets picking up the loose ball and going coast to coast for the easy finish. Dutchtown out to a lightning fast 7-0 lead in the first.
The Chiefs would get to work though. Viola Brinson grabs his own rebound and puts it back up strong to make it a 10-4 game still in the first quarter.
Dutchtown with a tough D. The speed demon Mets picks off another pass and takes it back again. He glides in for the easy layup to make it a 6-point Bulldog lead. McIntosh gets fired up here. Joey Bolin cuts through the entire Dutchtown defense and gets the crazy underhanded scoop shot to work for him, but the Chiefs still trailed 18-12.
Mike Williams lets one fly from the parking lot in the second quarter. He nails it and trims the Dutchtown lead to 4, 34-30 in the third.
Donovan Jones shows off the hops here, catching the big alley-oop from Mets and throwing it down to keep the Bulldogs up by 2 in the third quarter of action. Mike Williams comes up with a big steal and races the other way. He throws down the nasty two-handed jam, keeping McIntosh close, only down by 2, headed into the final frame.
Freddie Thomas coming up is going to hit Donovan Jones in the corner. Jones pulls the trigger and hits the big three-pointer to extend the Dutchtown lead in the fourth quarter.
Then it's Mets one more time, pushing the fast break. He misses the layup, but Rob Ashcraft is there for the huge follow-up dunk, and the Dutchtown Bulldogs roll on to a big win, 57-53 over McIntosh. Nathan, are you surprised that the Chiefs are not going to be a state playoff team this year?
A little bit. They showed so much improvement all season long. Got off to a little bit of a rough start this year, but really turned it on once the calendar turned to 2012. They've been playing really well down the stretch. They looked like a state caliber team, but it's all about matchups this time of year. Dutchtown, a very good team, very athletic, very good defensively. It was a very close game. It's not like they got blown out. It could have gone to either team. Dutchtown just found a way to win. I do think McIntosh was a state caliber team, just couldn't get that one final win to get into the big dance.
Yeah, it was a tough drawing that scrappy Dutchtown
It's
team.
tough. I think they could have beaten Griffin. Dutchtown, whole other story.
Yeah, they're tough. Back to the highlights and another quarterfinal matchup on the boys' side of the Region 3 tournament as the Whitewater Wildcats look to pull the upset over top seed Alcovy. Pick it up in the first quarter. Tommy Chalkley gets the ball inside to Philip Kofer, and he throws down the two-handed flush to tie the game at 2 apiece. Then it's Josh Alexander with a nice feed to a cutting Robbie Harlfinger. He lays it in on the baseline, and the Wildcats trail only 8-4.
Alcovy would go on an 11-0 run to end the quarter. Michael Tucker catches the lob inside the paint and goes up strong for the bucket. Tigers lead 19-4 after 1 quarter.
Second quarter, John Mark Rhodes gets it to Kofer inside, and he takes care of the rest with a Shack Attack style jam to cut the deficit to 19. But Alcovy would answer right back on the fast break. Justin Wallace to Marcus Beasley. He throws down the one-handed jam. Tigers go to the break up 37-7.
Whitewater trying to get the offense going in the second half. Wildcats with some good ball movement. Ends in another Philip Co for high percentage bucket.
Then off the fast break, Maurice Rivers, he wants to get in on the dunk fest for Whitewater, but the Wildcats still trail 55-24 through 3 quarters of action. In the fourth quarter, the Cats still playing hard. Kofer's three-point attempt is off the mark, but John Mark Rhodes is there for the board and the stick back to trim the lead to 29.
But Alcovy would not be denied on this night. Darius Mathis loses defender and drops a long 2, hitting nothing but nylon.
The Tigers in cruise control now. Lorenzo Kelly gets the ball on the low block, drops it in with the left hand as the Whitewater season comes to an end with a 66-37 loss to Alcovy. Nathan, tough loss there, but what do you think the future looks like for these Whitewater guys?
Well, they're going to lose a couple of key guys off this team. Seniors Tommy Chalkley and John Mark Rose have played a big role the past couple of years for the basketball team. They won't be there next year, but they do have Philip Kofer, only a sophomore. He's the kind of guy that you can build a team around. They had several underclassmen play big-time roles with the team this year. You know, Josh Alexander, only a freshman. Maurice Rivers, only a sophomore. Robbie Harlfinger, a junior. They'll all be back next year. They played big-time roles this year. I expect them to be a lot better. I think Wildcat fans should be very excited about the next 2 years with Philip Kofer in the middle of the paint for them.
Absolutely. That's a very young, extremely talented team. More highlights now as we check in on the Ladies Region 3 tournament. McIntosh have already locked up a state playoff spot, but the Lady Chiefs need a semifinal win over Alcovy to clinch home court. Alcovy comes out running in this one. Megan Tucker hits Ashley Williams in stride, and she glides in for the first points of the game. Lady Tigers lead 2-0. On the other end, Gabby Seiler gets some penetration and decides to kick it out to Abby Burrell, who squares up and knocks down the jump shot from the charity stripe.
Then Seiler decides to take it herself. She gets a step on the defender and takes it to the rack, finishing with the left hand. And the Lady Chiefs lead 9-4 in the first.
Alcovy using some good ball movement here. Kate Palo sends it over to Megan Tucker, who's all by herself. She drills the three-pointer from way back to pull the Lady Tigers to within 1. Seiler again for McIntosh. She dribbles for a second and decides this is good enough and launches the 3 from the bleachers. It's good, and McIntosh was rolling up 7 in the second.
Alcovy would answer, though. Tucker uses the spin move and gets in the lane, dumps the pass off to Ashley Williams, and takes care of the rest, and the Tigers are clawing back into the game.
Some good defense leads to a turnover. Williams snags the loose ball and races back the other way. She outruns the Chiefs and finishes with the left-hander, making it a 2-point game just before the half. McIntosh doing everything they can to keep up the pace. Seiler slings the pass inside to Crystal Ajuku, who gets the shot with all kinds of contact in the third quarter.
But Alcovy just took over in the second. Megan Tucker uses the screen up top and blows by the defense, finishing strong and pushing the Lady Tigers lead to 8.
In the fourth quarter was more of the same. Kate Palo gets around the defense, lays it in. Alcovy wins by the final of 47-35 over McIntosh. So that was a tough loss for the Lady Chiefs to Alcovy, but they did bounce back and get another big win.
Yeah, big win over Woodland there in the third place game, defeated them 55-50. They will be the number 3 seed now. Downside is McIntosh will still have to go on the road. They're going to have to take on Forest Park in the first round of the state playoffs. Forest Park, the number 8 team in the state. Not your typical number 2 seed, but the number 1 seed from that region is Jonesboro, the number 6 team in the state. So either way, it was going to be a very difficult matchup. But as a number 3 seed, they can get by Forest Park, and maybe somebody gets an upset for that second round game. Maybe they can get back home. Still better to be a 3 than a 4 in this situation, but it's going to be a very tough matchup for McIntosh here in the first round.
All you can do is get in the dance and hope for the best.
That's right.
Time now to recap other hoops action from around Fayette County, and we begin with the Fayette Lady Tigers.
Yes, the region champions once again defeating Alcovy 50-39 in the Region 3 championship. They have now won 16 straight games. Anissa Watson led the way with 15 points for the Lady Tigers. They also defeated Jones County 61-45 and Woodland 47-45 to reach the finals. They'll be taking on Lovejoy at home in the first round of the 4A state playoffs. Good matchup there for the Fayette Tigers.
How about the Sandy Creek ladies?
Got a little revenge this year. Last year they fell short of that championship game. This year they got it done, defeating Drew for the second straight time, 60-44. defeated Stockbridge 66-28 and Eastside 48-24 to reach the championship game. They won each tournament game by an average of 26 points, so the Lady Patriots rolling right now.
And the Fayette County men?
Tough loss to Alcovy. Did not really see this one coming. Alcovy, a very good team, but I thought Fayette was on such a roll. They fall 73-60 in the championship game. They got off to a really slow start and just couldn't recover in this one. They won games over Woodland and Griffin to reach the finals. They also, just like the girls, will be playing Lovejoy in the first round. I think it's a good matchup there as the 2 seed.
And the Landmark boys.
They lost to Whitfield Academy 71-45 in the Region 9A championship game. Whitfield Academy is ranked number 2 right now in Class A. They went to the Final Four last year. The Landmark defeated Our Lady of Mercy and Green Forest to reach the finals. They will match up against Providence Christian in the first round of the Class A state playoffs.
And then there's the Starr's Mill girls.
Tough loss for the Lady Panthers, falling to Woodland 45-26 in that region quarterfinal game. They defeated Olaf 41-34 in overtime in the first round, but they needed that win over Woodland to make the state tournament. Hey, there's still a lot to be proud of over at Starr's Mill. I know they would have liked to get into the state tournament. They played so hard. They played so well all season long. Hey, but they finished the season 20-7 overall. To get to 20 wins is a great accomplishment for a very young team that hadn't had a lot of success in the past.
Now getting back to those Fayette County men, do you still see them as a state title contender?
Absolutely. I'm not going to let one loss, sully what they've done all season long. It's the first time they lost to a team from the state of Georgia. They really dug themselves a hole in that first quarter, just couldn't seem to get any offense going, kind of fell behind, made a great comeback to make it close at halftime, but the hole was just too deep at that point. Alcovy's a very good team. You cannot fall behind to good teams like that. Hopefully this is a little bit of a wake-up for Fayette. They've been playing great all season long. Maybe this will kind of refocus them like, hey, we're not invincible. The 4A playoffs are going to be very difficult. A lot of great teams. We're ready. We're going to compete. We're going to win a state championship this year.
Sometimes it can actually help getting that loss right before the big tournament.
Hey, you never know.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week. Catch us back here on Comcast Channel 25 next week for game highlights and features. And be sure to like Fayette Prep Rally on Facebook and follow us on Twitter to see what's happening on the show. For Nathan Shutter, I'm Chase Watson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you under the lights.
Grab some wood there, bub.
I'm failing. No big deal.
What about college?
Face it, I'm not getting into college.
Fighting doesn't work.
We can't let him keep failing.
Maybe he'll outgrow it.
It's not just a phase. You saw his report card.
Ignoring it doesn't work.
Ma, I said I'd do better. Saying it and doing it are 2 different things.
Punishment doesn't work. What does work is a Huntington Learning Center. By improving basic skills, we build motivation and confidence, and kids look forward to learning. Call 1-800-CAN-LEARN today. Your child can learn.